Hey everyone, Joe here. How are you? Welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. It's been a while since I've posted anything on YouTube, and I've been getting messages here and there from people asking, if I would put something up. I've been trying to figure out something that would be interesting for you to watch, but I haven't been able to do that. I've been so busy running around doing things at the beach house and doing things here at home, as well as a bunch of other stuff. Trying to keep myself busy and get through all of this craziness that's still going on. But praying every day that it's going to be getting better, hopefully soon. I hope you're all well and doing okay, and getting through this different summer of 2020. This has been 1 year, let me tell you. But anyway, what I thought today is maybe I would do a walkabout outside, just show you a couple of things, a couple of my plants and stuff like that. I'm not doing anything technical. I'm not doing that. It's not that kind of a video. It's just kind of showing you what I have out there. And I think I do these once a year, so I figured, I might as well do something so I can post a video. It's been really, really hot here, as I'm sure it's been in most of the country. We've been having a long spell in the 90s with the real feels in the hundreds. So right now the plants, have a little bit of brown tips on them, and a lot of the flowers have fallen off because the plant is trying to conserve energy to get through this heat. But like I said, it's just a way for us to spend a little bit of time together. We had a few thunderstorms last night. We're expecting some today. I'm going to try to get this in before a storm comes. I'm looking outside the window right now as I'm videoing this, and I'm seeing a lot of movement in the plant. So the wind is picking up, so that could mean that the storm is on its way. So let's get through this, and I'll talk to you at the end of the video again. Okay, so I'm starting here on the side of the house, and you can see I have a lot of hostas. That's this plant right here. And actually, what I did was, in the spring, when it first starts coming up, I keep dividing them, and I've made a lot of them. I just noticed right here, there's a tomato plant growing right there. It must have came from my next door neighbor, a seed or something, or an animal that pooped there after it ate a tomato plant, and the tomato plant is growing, which is kind of funny. Here I wanted to show you this. This is a dwarf Alberta spruce, but look what happened to it. They must have like grafted or something like that, or it reverted itself back to kind of like a regular spruce tree. So you see the bottom of it is the regular dwarf Alberta spruce, like this one, and then here we have it changed into a fir, and we even have pine cones growing on there, which that's odd. I think, well, odd for me, because I've had them in the past and I've never had that happen before. So there you go. So summer is all about a lot of trimming for me. I can't stand the stuff to getting big and unruly, so I'm like constantly in the process of trimming. And these barberry over here grow overnight, and you can see there's little new growth is coming out, and I just trimmed it maybe the day before yesterday. So I like I said, I try to keep up on that as much as I can. So actually what happened was, there's too many plants that I have that need too much attention all the time. And of course I planted them when I was younger, and I didn't really think about that. And now that I'm older, it's kind of like, it's becoming another big job. Like this tree is growing crooked. I've been trying to straighten it out, but I know the end of the story for that. That's going to be coming out of there soon, and I'm going to have to replace it with something. These spiral trees, again, they require a lot of maintenance if you want to keep the spiral on it. So I'm always out here with my clippers trying to straighten out that spiral. Here's a great specimen right here. This is a bird's nest blue spruce, and I paid a pretty good price for it, and it was maybe 1/8 of the size of this. So it's getting really large, and it has a really nice color. It's a blue color in it. So if you noticed in my beds over here, I took out most of my mulch and I replaced it with gravel. It just makes it easier. The mulch blows away and it washes away, and it's just a pain. And I don't know if you've seen, one of these outside videos before, but what I did was I tried to create like a bed here, like it's a water feature without having water in it. So you see I did the flat rocks, and then I have the white rocks in here kind of spilling out, looking like it's water. These little lights right here we picked up in the dollar store, and they're not really strong, but you know what? They just give a soft light at night, which is really great. Here, Chinese maple, and it's absolutely beautiful in the fall. It's a really like orangey red. It's really pretty. Okay, more barberry. So you see I have a lot of barberry, and actually I lost a lot of them too, but I still have a lot of them. And here I tried to make, as we approach the front door, this like little area right here, and I used one of these pots that are from my mother and father. They were theirs. They're very old pots. Have some Dracaena spike in there and some marigolds, but like I told you before, almost all the flowers are gone. I mean, they're coming back again, but it's just went through that process. We zoomed into the high 90s with real fields in the hundreds, and all the flowers started to just fall off. Up on the porch this year, again, I didn't do a lot of flowers. It was just too much of a pain for me this year with things going on, and I put some irises up here. So in the spring they had these really nice spikes on them. So right now it's just a touch of green up there, so it's going to function. That back there, I forgot what it's called, and you can see it's on its way out. The whole back of it is just gone, so I have to think about what I'm going to do. Replace that with, but if I replace that one, I'm probably gonna have to replace the one on the other side. And here's another one of those spiral trees that I have to have a lot of maintenance on. There's my bay window. You can barely see it. I just have a flower, like a wicker basket in there with some summer flowers, and there's butterflies flying around in there, but you really can't see it with the glare. Another flower pot from my parents, and you can see I built these flat rock walls here not too much longer after we had built the house, and I interchange it with the gravel, as you can see, and I have some of the white stones in there as well, just giving it a little bit of difference in texture and color and whatnot. What I tried to do was I tried to mix plantings without having to use flowers. So you see I used the red barberries against the greens, as well as before with the when I showed you the Chinese maples red, and with the blue spruce and so on. And these are yellow barberry right here, and on each side I have these euonymuses which are green and yellow. So it gives a little bit of color without having to have that maintenance all the time of the flowers. Another bed here I have, same thing. You can see those are the dollar store lights. They were $1, and you know what, they're really good. You put them out there, the end of the season you throw them out, and it's 1, 2, 3 and low cost. You can get for $30 you can get 30 of them, or $50 you can get 50 of them, whatever you want, whereas the other ones are way more expensive, and they go out too, so might as well just use these kind of cheapy kind of LED lights, but they do function. So over here I put one of these Adirondack chairs, and they love to blow away in the wind, so I have a piece of granite actually on there, and then I just added those couple of pots on each side of it, and the baskets, they kind of look like like a basket. But they're plastic, and and again, I'll change that out in the fall and get some color in there. Here, this was weird because this is a sedum, and it actually grew like a hanging plant. if you can see it, look, see how it is? It's hanging there, and they require very little water. And again, if you have these are like a succulent, and you can break off pieces of them and just plant them somewhere else, and they'll grow. And I like this is a sedum, and that's a sedum as well right there. But this one I created into a hanging one. I don't know how I did it, but I did it, and so I'm happy about that. Again, my geraniums are losing a lot of their flowers because of the heat, and the begonias as well. And all these hostas, like I said before, I divided these. I made all of these plants, every single one of them. Okay, over here, by my little bench right here, I have a pot back here, and I'm growing some sweet Italian basil in there. And here, smell that. That smells good. That smells like Sunday. And some parsley, some Italian parsley right here as well. Then in here I have, again, marigolds. They're almost, you see the buds are coming back out again, but all the ones that were here kind of fell off. And some begonias back there. And then these are canna, which my neighbor gave me. And here in the Northeast, I have to take the bulbs out all the time because they'll freeze over the winter. So I had this on my Instagram, I think, or on my Facebook page, and someone told me, they're very invasive. So, if you live in an area like, where it's hot all year long, and you just plant them in the ground, they will spread. They're a bulb, and they keep on spreading. But, I keep them contained within these pots right here, and, I like them. They're very colorful. They're big. They make a big, big statement. This right here, these are the spaghetti string beans. They're string beans, but they grow about a foot long. And a friend of ours gave us the seeds from their plants, and I started to grow the seeds in the springtime. I put them in little pots, and I soaked them, first of all, for a day, and then I put them in little pots, and then I planted them here, and I built this trellis back here, which you really can't see. I used tomato spikes, and then with string I made a lattice work, and you can see the string beans are doing very well. They're coming up over the fence now. Unfortunately, there's not one string bean yet, but the flowers are starting right here, so I have my fingers crossed that we're going to be getting them. They're really, really good. They're really long. Marianne makes them with tomato sauce. Oh, look, here's one right here. Look how long it is. That's a string bean. So she'll make that with tomato sauce, and it'll almost taste like spaghetti. And then, of course, sometimes we'll actually add them on top of pasta. So those are my spaghetti string beans. Got one so far. Here's another spaghetti string bean that I put in a pot on this side of the fence right here, and it's doing pretty good. Okay, like last year, I showed you this before. This was Marianne's grandfather's wine press, and what I did was I stained the wood on the outside of it, and I painted those round rims red, and I turned it into a planter because we really didn't have any room for it, and we don't really press wine any longer. So I thought, I wanted to give it some use, and it works out pretty well. Okay, so here are our tomato plants, and I actually only planted 6 this year, and I've been trying to keep on top of them so that they don't topple over. I used the what do you call them, these things, and I put a piece of wood in the back to hold them up. So you can see the tomatoes are forming. I have one inside. We've only gotten one that's ripe so far, but we have a lot of tomatoes, and you know what'll happen now? They'll all start at the same time, and then we'll be inundated with tomatoes, and we have to start giving them away. More hosta, little garden pixie right there. I painted her to make her look like she was concrete. She's actually plastic. And more of these spiral trees, more work. Okay, so a little bistro set right here, and I'll be honest with you, we really don't sit at these tables much. I mean, sometimes, sit out here, read a little bit and like that, but we don't eat outside. We're not al fresco kind of people. We kind of like to stay inside, air conditioning and bug free when we eat. And if you notice, I'm not really much into decorating. You know, I don't have a lot of fancy pillows and rugs and all of that kind of stuff out here. It's just more work for me because the yard, and like I said, you know, with the beach house and everything else, it's a lot of work, and getting older, and you know, it just starts to pile up. And like I said, I like to try to keep everything as neat as possible. We used to have grass back here, and I took it all out because it was a pain with the pool. So this one last area I had taken out, and I just put mulch in there, but I'm debating on what I'm going to put in there, possibly some kind of gravel or some kind of stone or something like that. You can see I have a couple more pots here. That right there, that was a little spruce. The ShopRite was giving it away on Arbor Day. It was like the size of a pencil, and it's slowly but surely growing. A few more irises right here. Ornamental grass, they're really easy to take care of. Back here, some more begonias, and I have some parsley and celery growing in there. And take a look at how gigantic my basil is right here. It's really big. Actually, the stems are getting woody. That's how big it is. More hosta, and of course another cherub. You know, if you know us, you know how much we love cherubs. And it was a fountain, but I took out the guts for the fountain, and I just made it into a planter in here. I was going to put some fish in there, but then the raccoons come and they like to go fishing, so there's no fish in there right now. More barberry, more marigolds, and so on. A lot of hostas, you can see. More of that canna from my neighbor right there. And the pool, it's not a big pool. It's only about 14 feet wide by 24 feet, maybe 26 feet long. And but it's big enough for us. And you see there's a waterfall back there. And that was a project I just got done because the pipes for the waterfall were installed wrong, and we were never getting a good flow from the waterfall. So as you can see, I redid all the pipes back there. I took everything out and I started from scratch, and I even put in a little valve that I can adjust the flow of water into this smaller side of the waterfall so that we have a good flow. So that's working pretty good right now. So I'm happy with that, and I guess that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed this little tour on my walkabout outside in the yard. And like always, send me a comment. You know I love hearing from you guys. And you know, I'm planning some fall things right now. God willing, I'm going to be able to put those in motion. And maybe I'll share some drawings with you. You can also find me on Facebook at Designs by, that's one word, Designs by Joe. And I just started an Instagram account. It's Designs by _Joe, and I don't know what I'm doing on there. So I'm just starting that. But those are two other places that you might be able to contact me. Okay, everybody. I hope again everybody is okay. Everybody's staying safe. Following all the guides that we have to follow in this abnormal time we're living in. And I miss hearing from you, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. So take care, everybody, and I'll be talking to you soon, I hope. Take care. Bye-bye.